challenge here tonight. Davon Reed had 14 points in that first meeting between these two. It was 4 of 6 from downtown, but 0 of 3 on the inside and 4 turnovers, along with his 4 assists. Tiada Fernandez led them with 17 points. He was 5 of 8 from downtown, but only 1 of 5 from 2. They're led by Nelson Colon, a 4-time Puerto Rican champion as head coach at club level. Now Bahamas, what a result. So many all-round positive performances. Led by Dominic Bridgewater, 20 points, 5 of 9 3-point shooting, 6 assists, 3 steals for him. Kentuan Smith, 17 points, was 4 of 12 from downtown, as well as hitting both of his twos. And on defense, 3 steals and 2 blocks. They had 13 points from Kai Jones, 7 rebounds. They'll look to do it all again here on home court tonight. In that game day 1 win at the Coliseo Roberto Clemente in San Juan, as well as the stars of the last qualifying campaign, Smith and Bridgewater, they had others step up from the start. Bahamas, Davis and Jones, a big part to open an early 15-point lead. 7 different players finishing the game with 7 points or more. Their size inside at both ends and their quickness and character on defense crucial. Later in the game, Bridgewater double-teamed. Gordon and Miller kept the offense moving. And they kept Puerto Rico at arm's length for an 11-point win, 77-88. That slow start really hurting Puerto Rico. They lost the first period 15-30 on home court a few days ago. They have to avoid that slow start tonight. Alfonso Plummer did hit a couple of threes for them in the second quarter to help them narrowly win the period, but they still trailed by 14 in the main break. Tiada Fernandez then fired 14 personal points in the third quarter, but the period finished an even 24-24. And they fought to reduce the arrears in the fourth, but only won the stanza by 3 to lose the game by 11. Awful two-point shooting hurt them throughout. 39% on the interior, Puerto Rico, compared to knocking down 13 threes at 43%. to at least keep it competitive. How do they overcome those problems against the same opposition here this evening? Two Caribbean countries who have a history together. Bahamas were one of the lowest seeds in qualifying for the last AmeriCup. Only got to play one of their 6 games at home due to COVID. They will relish this opportunity to play at home tonight against this starting 5 of Puerto Rico. Davon Reed, the standout, a player who played 42 NBA games last season with the Nuggets and the Lakers. He's making his international debut in this window, a proven scorer, but having to adapt quickly after only a brief taste of FIBA rules in the first half of this season, playing 2 league games and 4 Euro Cup games with Ukrainian side Prometey. Nelson Colon, the head coach. There's Davon Reed to call upon, hoping that he can show his quality in his second game for Puerto Rico tonight. Had 14 points that first game, but a mixed bag with low 2-point shooting and as many turnovers as assists. Reed now playing in the G League with Memphis, where he averages 10.5 points on 39% 3-point shooting. Starting 5 for the home team, Bahamas. Dominic Bridgewater, 20 points to lead the way, 5 of 9 3-point shooting, 6 assists, 3 steals. He and Kai Jones, the 2 standouts in the win a few days ago. 13 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals for Jones. Those 2 both only 23 years of age. It's a young team that Moses Johnson has at his disposal. They produced their best ever performance at the Olympic pre-qualifying tournament last year, eliminating the hosts Argentina. That was behind a set of NBA stars who aren't available for this AmeriCup qualifying window. Instead, they've got others to turn to. Kai Jones, an explosive, athletic centre, who's here off the back of a long layoff following his tumultuous exit from the Charlotte Hornets. We wondered how he would adapt, what kind of shape he'd be in. Well, he had the best plus-minus of all players on the team in the first meeting. Was their 3rd top scorer and 2nd best rebounder. Bahamas gave it their all to qualify for the last AmeriCup. In a tough group, they split the first 2 games against Mexico before losing to the USA and Puerto Rico in Indianapolis in a bubble. They played the final window in San Juan, losing again to the US. It all came down to the final game against the host Puerto Rico. They did make an immense push, Bahamas. Left it all on the floor, but lost 97-102. Missing out on a place at the showpiece event for a 12th straight edition. Two nations at opposite ends of the AmeriCup experience spectrum. What a sensational curtain raiser to this qualifying campaign they put on in San Juan on Thursday. Having only ever made 1 AmeriCup appearance, Bahamas able to upset the 3-time continental champions Puerto Rico. That makes this a colossal clash in the Caribbean tonight. If Bahamas can upset the odds again, they go 2 wins clear of Puerto Rico with 4 games to go, giving them a great chance of reaching a first major tournament since 1995. The other side of the story is that Puerto Rico have never failed to qualify for the showpiece event. If they can even score tonight, this group would remain wide open, with all 4 nations at 1-1. These fans will hope to refuel their team to do it all again. 3-point attempt knocked down for the first score. Davon Reed, 4 of 6 from downtown in the first game, at it again. Bridgewater for Bahamas. On it goes, far side. Powerful through the paint. But with a travel. On his way through, Kai Jones. Played 26.5 minutes in the first game, Kai Jones. Puerto Rico leading by that 3-0. And this man Reed. Backing in, going to work, over the top, doesn't go for Amero. Bahamas looking for their first score. Right down Main Street goes Aaron Gordon. They're up and running, Bahamas. Gordon had 8 points on 3 of 6 shooting in the first game. 5 assists, 2 turnovers for the 27-year-old point guard. Baseline burst, look out! Flying finish. Ismael Romero rocks the rack. Letting out his frustration on the rim. After going only 2 of 8 in the first game from the field. Offensive rebound, stick back good with a big cheer for the birthday boy. 30 today, Tavario Miller. Still seeing 0-0 on the score graphic. I'll try and keep you updated as best I can as Puerto Rico failed to find the high flyer Romero that time. These fans loving the action early on. Romero asking for the nudge from behind. Smith out from the corner. 3-point shooter, too heavy. Offensive rebound again. Gordon, too heavy once again. So there's the score. Bahamas 4, Puerto Rico 5. 2 field goals each. Puerto Rico with the only 3 of the game so far. Dropped off. Positive attack, but knocked out of bounds. Really good defense from Tavario Miller. Ronaldo Toro didn't play in that first game, so already a different dynamic for Puerto Rico. They had 2 players in the rotation didn't play. On the roster, I should say, that didn't play. Ronaldo Toro, the number 41, and Wilfredo Rodriguez, the number 15. Quick catch and shoot off the inbound, rattles around and goes down for Ismael Cruz. Again, that will do him a great deal of good as well. It was only 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 4 from downtown in the first game. Took those 7 shots in just 9.5 minutes on court. So Puerto Rico, the first little bit of breathing room. And Bahamas throwing up bricks right now for the advantage. Toro, out it comes, 3-point shot, Reed again. Pass finds its way across the floor. Smith for 3, over everything. Really not happening for Bahamas, who hit 2 field goals early on. They're now just 2 of 8. Down the left, fouled on the layup. So a chance for Puerto Rico to stretch the advantage to 6. Tough start for Bahamas in their first home game. Foul is on Tavario Miller. So Toro, the 26-year-old power forward at the line. Splits the pair, Puerto Rico by 5. Such a huge game for them and indeed Bahamas. Could shape this group very early on. It'll be hard to come back from a two-game deficit if Puerto Rico do lose back-to-back games against Bahamas, who are back in business thanks to David Nesbitt. Nesbitt having just come in off the bench. Gets the scoreboard moving again. 10 points with just one miss in the first game. I mentioned so many players stepped up. They had positive contributions all round. Look at the box score, very few negatives. Everybody coming in offered something. It's not always been that way for Bahamas. Now look at the defense, completely mugged at mid-court and put in by Dominic Bridgewater to bring this crowd to its feet. The 178 point guard all over his opponent like a rash. Tiana Fernandez. It's right back at Bahamas. Inroad around the defense. Three-point shooter is Smith. Puerto Rico protecting their backboard. Midway point of the first period. 7-9 is showing. 9-14 is the score I have. Outside shot, good for Tiana Fernandez. Doing it from deep time and time again. It's a couple of triples already for him after he had 5 in the first game. Bahamas turn it over as well. Again, I'll try and do my best to keep you up to date with the score. That now I believe is the correct one. Be 9-17. In fact, after that latest 3. Our first time out, just over the midway point of the first quarter. And try and get the issues sorted out for you. Olympic qualifying, a big deal for these two nations right now as well. Puerto Rico haven't been to the Olympics since Athens 2004. They failed to qualify for the last 4 events, but they're hosting one of this summer's Olympic qualifying tournaments in San Juan. Bahamas reached the Olympic qualifying tournament for the first ever time with their performances at the Olympic pre-qualifying tournament last year, eliminating Argentina. .14 the score. And it's just the 5-point lead for Puerto Rico. Down 3 of 4 threes. Bahamas are 0 of 5. Lovely footwork, pass out. Cruz off the mark, let off for Bahamas. Chance to make it just a one-possession game, despite all of those Puerto Rico threes. Nowhere to go though. Foul on Gordon. Good defense, Tiana Fernandez. He's knocked down 2 of those 3 threes as well. Mr. 3&D slips it back in. Composed move in the paint from Ismael Romero, who's had plenty to say as well. So the lead stretched to 7. 3.5 to play, that's the largest so far. Gordon. Nesbitt poked away. Still Bahamas possession, they want to foul. Only 6 on the shot clock, instead it's going to be an inbound on the baseline. I think rather than the foul and the reset of the shot clock to 14. Smith gets it in, turns it over straight away. Now look out on the fast break, not giving up hope, chasing back, but Romero all the way through. It's his second dunk already. 9 the lead now for Puerto Rico. Big block Romero as well. Clocking up the air miles at both ends, and here he goes once more. Fouled on his flight path that time. And this is a tough position for Bahamas to be in right now. Puerto Rico are in the mood, and a chance at a double-digit lead. Nothing too untoward about the foul from Kai Jones. As much as Puerto Rico will complain. Six points already for Ismael Romero. 3 or 4 shooting, including a couple of big dunks and that big block. 5 points for Tiara Fernandez. I thought he'd knocked down 2 threes. Maybe one of those was downgraded to a 2. Already a 9-point lead though for Puerto Rico. So a chance for double figures here. Romero at the line. Only scored 6 points in 26 minutes in the first meeting between these two. He's already got more points than that in 7 minutes here this evening. Did rebound the ball well. 7 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds, had 3 assists as well, but only 6 points with 2 of 8 shooting. Now he's got 8 points with just 1 miss. Godfrey roll into the game to try and change it for Bahamas, down 11. Bridgewater, pass 1, into a second, looking back out, doing really well to block passing lanes, turnaround heave, Bridgewater. Puerto Rico defending well. And cutting off the supply right now. Alfredo Rodriguez is in the game, didn't play in the first meeting, so the full rotation it seems for Puerto Rico tonight. Deep 3, too long, rebound grabbed by Kai Jones. Stop and pop 3 for him, and he knocks it down. Kai Jones with a get back in business bucket for Bahamas. Tiara Fernandez gets it back from Davon Reed. Fernandez disrupted, turnover. Bahamas have rediscovered a bit of confidence, getting this crowd back on side. Offensive rebound. Big, strong attack. Kai Jones going big in the Bahamas tonight. Back-to-back scores for him. From 11 to within 6. Jones trying to grab the rebound as well. Poked away, recovered far side. Nice flash and finish through the paint from Davon Reed. So 8 the lead for Puerto Rico. Kai Jones really feeling it though for Bahamas. Turnover, 2 players getting in each other's way. Runway opens up for the takeoff. Davon Reed Makes it count. Nine points for Reed now. They've been sloppy with possession at times, Bahamas. And that continues right on cue. Romero down the left rail, getting it done. Game face on Ismael Romero. What a turnaround in his performance. What a turnaround in his team's performance. They lost 30-15 in the first quarter against the same opponents in game one. Basket for Rashard Davis. But Puerto Rico have flipped the script on Bahamas with a huge retaliation in the first quarter here after the defeat on their home court back in San Juan a few nights ago. They trailed by 15 at the end of one. Puerto Rico in that game, they lead by 10 at the end of one in the reverse meeting. So Bahamas 16, Puerto Rico 26 the score at the end of the first. 11 the largest lead. 10 points already for Ismael Romero. Already 4 more than he had in the whole game. On game day one, he's played every single second. He's played it with a fire in his belly. 4 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line. A rebound and a block. Plenty of key plays to the first period as well. 2 sets of players showing their athleticism and their tenacity on defense. That strip and score from Dominic Bridgewater came when Bahamas were matching Puerto Rico, keeping it close. But it was a first quarter in the end littered with turnovers for them and littered with points for Romero. And he puts the air in Romero. Jones doing his best to cancel him out. Had 2 important baskets for Bahamas, including that emphatic finish. Puerto Rico weren't phased. Came back and made it a double-digit advantage. Bahamas 6 of 9 from 2, but only 1 of 8 from 3. And committing 6 turnovers in the period. There's the courtside 1891 app. A little hint of what you can get. All the stream schedules and scores in your pocket. Catch that QR code if you weren't able to find it in the relevant app store. Puerto Rico had half the turnovers in that first quarter. And shot it well, 7 of 9 from 2, 3 of 8 from three-point range, 3 of 4 from the line. Turnaround triple. Perfectly placed, lead stretch to an evening high, 13. Alfonso Plummer was 3 of 6 from downtown in the first game. Jones off the crossover, can't cancel it out. Way wide right from Jones. It's not been much of a team performance from Bahamas so far. Puerto Rico taking it to the next level. Big rebound, David Nesbitt. Defense sticking with the shooter, forcing the miss on Aaron Gordon. Jorge Pacheco, and by Toro. Deep three-pointer is right on the money from Plummer. Back-to-back triples from Alfonso Plummer. Puerto Rico have blown this open, leading by 16. And it's Plummer throwing blows. And the turnovers continue for Bahamas. They're in deep, deep trouble right now on home court. Against a nation they won against a few days ago by 11 on the road, down 16. 7 turnovers to 3. The silver lining for Bahamas is there's still a long way to go. They can't afford to let this deficit grow too much. Keno Burrows coming in. His first involvement. Only played 4 minutes in the first game. 38-year-old veteran. They've just got to dig their heels in on defense here. Show some grit. One-on-one. Attacking through the paint. Miss from Toro. That's a start. Jones. Smith out towards Davis, getting down the baseline, blocked off. Second bite of the cherry, still no good. Angel Matthias. They lose it. Kai Jones getting down and dirty. Scrapes, scratches and bruises. The superstar of this Bahamas team right now, Kai Jones, for his offensive flair and firepower. His hustle on defense as well. Bridgewater. Risky pass, flip far side. They get a good look in the end, but miss it. Just not going down for Bahamas right now. The swivel and the sledgehammer from Christian Negron. Puerto Rico continue to pound Bahamas in the paint and rock their hosts against the ropes. Christian Negron with a cracker. And look at that move. Now you see me, now you don't. Sending his opponent almost back to the bench. Christian Negron has stretched the Puerto Rico lead to 18 points. Already there's been a change, it seems, in attitude, in energy and in personnel for Puerto Rico. Ronaldo Toro, their top rebounder, didn't even play in the first game. He's got 6 rebounds here already, Ronaldo Toro. 3-pointer long for Bahamas. Offensive rebound though, Tavario Miller, and a foul. Toro playing the power forward position, grabbing all those rebounds. It was Alexander Capos He played 21 minutes at power forwards in the first game. He's not played at all yet in this one. Bahamas need something, anything. Smith on the swivel. Jones couldn't get to it. Points out in transition. Free flowing for Puerto Rico. Down the floor. A point of appreciation for the pass. And a rim rocker of a retaliation from Kai Jones. And that closes what had been the first 20-point lead of the game for Puerto Rico. Well, now on Gordon. Only one foul for each team here in the second. Moses Johnson, Bahamas coach, will want them to use those fouls that they have to give wisely. Bahamas trying to disrupt Puerto Rico rather than let them create high percentage shots. And pass out of a pack of players, open shooters queuing up on the perimeter. They need it, they don't get it. Went for the rebound, trying to save it, Jones. The ball just not dropping for Bahamas right now. 20 the lead for Puerto Rico and a chance to make it the out-and-out largest lead of the game with any score here. Three-pointer well wide left. Kai Jones with the ball in his hands. They need a big 5 minutes here until half-time, Bahamas. They don't really look like sorting it out yet. They need some threes to go down. Up fake, back out. Attack onto the interior. Tough bucket for Gordon, who wants the and one. They're only 1 of 11 from three-point range, but they are now 8 of 15 from 2. 18 the deficit, midway point of the second. We'll head to the benches for another timeout. You saw the shooting numbers there in that timeout. Such high percentages for Puerto Rico. Bahamas with a much-needed basket for Gordon, but Puerto Rico 71% from 2, 45% from 3. And that 71% from 2 starts with the turnovers of Bahamas, committing far too many, 8 turnovers in the first 15 minutes. Puerto Rico getting out on the fast break for higher percentage scoring opportunities. Tierra Fernandez, 18, the Puerto Rico lead. Matias. Fernandez. Shot clock to 5. Bahamas stiffening the defense. Now they're out of time. They have possession, but with just 1 to shoot. How badly Bahamas need a defensive stop. Matias will inbound. But it's going to have to be something special Going to change the inbounder. Just checking the clock. 2 seconds. Turnaround. Good luck. One bounce. Pull of the trigger. Wouldn't go down. Quick outlet pass for Bahamas here. Trying not to let that Puerto Rico defense set. Turnaround 3. Big offensive rebound. Miller. Jones on to Smith. They need back-to-back scores for the first time in a long time. Kai Jones going to work on the twist and turn and fade and finish. Kai Jones. He's stepping up. Bahamas back within 16. 9 points for Jones. Ball out of bounds. Still Puerto Rico possession. Jones now 4 of 5 from the field. 9 points, 5 rebounds, a steal and a block in 12.5 minutes. He's doing his bit. There's a 13 efficiency rating for Bahamas. Their next best player only has a 4. They need others to step up here. Tiana Fernandez. Shot clock. Running down on Puerto Rico again. Are they aware? They're not. It's a shot clock violation against Ismael Romero. And listen to the reaction from these fans. Bahamas looking to put together a run here. They've had the last 2 scores. Now they have the ball. Bridgewater. Jones on to Smith. Smith back out. Gordon. Everybody looking more confident now. Gordon pulls at mid-range. A bit too heavy. Davon Reed. Romero. The show and the go under the basket. A bit too far. Antoine Smith lost it on the baseline. Turnover. Turnover number 10 for Bahamas. It's twice as many as Puerto Rico. Sometimes it's just needed a bit more composure for Bahamas. No need to rush. There's plenty of time. Reed. Romero. Fernandez back to Reed. Reed into a pack of black jerseys. Created the open look for the corner shooter. Big rebound, Romero in that pack of black jerseys. And he misses again on the outside. Ismael Cruz. And let off for Bahamas. And a chance to continue this run. Still, they've had the last 2 scores. They did trail by 20. Open 3-point shooter. Big shot for Bahamas. From 20 down, they're within 13. Kenton Smith to score. And Puerto Rico now on a drought. And they remain on a drought, but a whistle against a frustrated Kai Jones for the push as he grabs the defensive ball. Let's see if we can see that push. He's adamant it was only hands on body, no force. It's a 7-0 run for Bahamas right now. Again, they force them towards the end of the shot clock. Away in time, hand in the face of the shooter. Reed, though, quick outlet pass down the floor. Bridgewater. He's fouled. And Bahamas continue to come. Dominic Bridgewater, the 23-year-old point guard, will go to the line for two. So the 20-point lead was at 18-38. It is now around a 4-minute drought for Puerto Rico. Just over 4 minutes, in fact. The last score came at 5:59. Just one of two, a 12-point margin that had been 20. An 8-0 run for Bahamas right now. A minute and a half to play in the first half. Cruz drops it off, and just dropping it was Toro. Did have it poked away, but only 7 on the shot clock. It's all about the defense of Bahamas right now. Almost every Puerto Rican possession being forced towards the end of the shot clock. Free for the long two, doesn't go down. Tough non-take on the board, but a bailout from the official's whistle after Kentuan Smith failed to grab the rebound. And contrast these last nearly 5 minutes to the previous 14, where Puerto Rico were getting so many quick baskets out in transition down the floor. Drive the deficit, Bridgewater. Short pass, Jones able to go down on his knees and get it. It's a long way down for him. Bridgewater lost it again. Jones going down once more. They're second to every ball right now, Bahamas, despite their best efforts, and that is a backbreaker. A dagger from the corner by Plummer, who's got 3 threes already. Up high! Kai Jones gets right back on the horse. Kai Jones, the high-flying finish. Not letting Puerto Rico build any momentum, but their 3-point game is hurting Bahamas right now. 16 the lead again. Tough take to the bucket, nothing at the end of it. 3-point shooting the difference. Knocked away. Just lost the handle on the ball. It's going fast down the floor. And they could have held it for the final shot. The opportunity was too much to resist, so they leave Bahamas with 6.9 seconds. A bit of their good work undone with those 2 3-pointers for Puerto Rico. And again, turnovers have been a problem. And offering those transition opportunities to Puerto Rico. Half-time, a 16-point deficit for Bahamas. 28-44, Puerto Rico lead. The home team have shown they can put together a run. They're not out of this yet. But after a really good spell, that was a tough finish in the end to the second quarter, as we see the shooting percentages and the perimeter percentage making a difference. 15% versus 44% from 3-point range. What you don't see there is the turnover count, which is heavily against Bahamas, 10 turnovers to 5. Kai Jones, top scorer in the game with 11, many of them high above the hoop. Israel Romero leads Puerto Rico, all 10 of his coming in the first quarter. It's his Puerto Rico team that lead by 16 at halftime here in Nassau. It was the largest lead for Puerto Rico. Bit of a retaliation over a 5-minute spell in which Puerto Rico failed to score, and Bahamas did close the gap down to 12. Had an 8-0 run, but Puerto Rico bounced back, down a couple of outside shots. Some fantastic high-flying finishes. That one from Christian Negron. Several from Ismael Romero, several from Kai Jones for Bahamas, printing multiple posters. Not much wrong with their two-point percentage. Not a beautiful fadeaway from Jones. And 53% from 2, but only 15% from 3, 2 of 13. And too many turnovers, 10 turnovers. And it feels like Puerto Rico have punished each one. Towards the end of that second quarter, punishing them with threes. Alfonso Plummer, the sharpshooter, 3 of 3 from downtown in the game. Kai Jones responding with the alley-oop throwdown. And Puerto Rico happy to trade 3s for 2s. Timeout for that little one there. Half-time here. Bahamas 28, Puerto Rico 44.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one. We are all on the same team. Let's convince those who never thought they would do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Herrera. Almost turned it over, got it back. Still 6 to shoot, but he heaves it from near centre court. Sebastian Herrera. A rush of blood to the head.
Everyone's a little too big on the inside. Galvanini gives it up. Down the lane for the throwdown. Impressed early. Teller goes up, it's blocked. Carrera comes from the weak side and says not in here.
Maybe left relatively unguarded on the perimeter. Campasso, eyes in the back of his head. And Delia adds the exclamation mark to the highlight reel assist.
Oh boy, Vanilla again. Omar Quintero has to be disappointed with his start. And look at Solano taking off. Didn't take him long to get his first.
Making things happen. There he is, finding the short roll, and again, that's just great basketball from Uruguay. Martin Rojas with the pass, Ceres with the finish.
Oh, baby! Niagara Falls is just flooded here at St. Catharines. Khalifa Young just elevating.
Oh, the cover from Campasso, the trick from Campasso, the no-look pass from Campasso, and the shot from Campasso. Bang! The one-man show.
Oh boy, oh my goodness. Ramsey. Look at that.
In the pre-game build-up, we said that backcourt for Uruguay is the elevation from Romero. Where did that come from?
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Welcome back to the Sir Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium in Nassau. The Bahamas trailing by 16 points at halftime in their first home game of this campaign to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico looking for payback after losing the reverse matchup on their home floor a few nights ago. 20 has been the largest lead for Puerto Rico. 16 at the half. We'll take a look on the top scorers for the respective teams. Ismael Romero, the personification of Puerto Rico's turnaround from game day 1 to game day 2. Was held to 2 of 8 from the field for only 6 points altogether in that defeat to Bahamas back in San Juan. 10 points here, all in the first quarter. Several dunks. 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line, a couple of rebounds, an offensive rebound and a block shot. Ismael Romero putting that tough game day 1 behind him. He's got that stat line in 14 and a bit minutes on court. Alfonso Plummer, their next top scorer, with 9 points. He's only taken 3 shots, all of them threes, all of them knocked down. Davon Reed has 7 for Puerto Rico, 3 of 7 shooting. As for the home team, Bahamas, they have the top scorer in the game, Kai Jones. He's got 11. The problem is the rest of the team only have 17 combined. Jones can't do it all himself. He's been explosive above the hoop. 5 of 6 from the field. That includes a 3-pointer, several dunks, and this fantastic fadeaway long 2. He's also their top rebounder with 5, a couple of offensive rebounds, and on defense a steal and a block. The top scorer and the top player in terms of efficiency in this ball game. The Bahamas human highlight reel. Behind his 11, nobody else for Bahamas has more than 4 points. Aaron Gordon has 4 and 2 of 7 shooting. And they've got 3 players on 3. Puerto Rico all together shooting it well as a team, as we see their leaders in various categories. Toro, 8 rebounds. Didn't play at all in the first game. He's given them an extra boost with all of those boards. His only point coming from the foul line so far, but 8 rebounds in 16.5 minutes played. Effectively taking the place of Alexander Kapos, who's only played a minute and a half after playing 21 minutes in the first game. There's a look at the more complete line for Ismael Romero. He's come here like his team with real purpose and positivity to put it right. Leaders in the different categories for Bahamas. We've talked about the 11 points, 5 rebounds of Kai Jones already. The next top rebounder, Tavario Miller, with 4. He's actually their best rebounder on the opponent's backboard with 3 offensive rebounds. Aaron Gordon, 2 assists, leads them creatively. That, in fact, is well worth putting some meat on the bones, because he has 2 assists. The rest of the team, 0. They've had 2 assists altogether in 20 minutes of play, Bahamas. I mentioned they were looking like a team of individuals rather than a team. That stat is the illustration of that. Contrast Puerto Rico with 7 assists, and there's 7 assists coming with 6 turnovers, which is not great, but when you consider Bahamas have had 2 assists with 10 turnovers, that is atrocious. There's a lot that they can look to put right. They've got 20 minutes to try and come from 16 down, a deficit that has been as many as 20. They need to improve their 3-point shooting, only 2 of 13 as a team for 15%. Puerto Rico 7 of 16 for 44%. They've also shot a slightly better percentage on the interior. Far easier said than done, but they have to cut out the turnovers, move the ball better, and shoot it better from long range. I mentioned Toro's 8 rebounds. In terms of rebounding, it's not been too bad for Bahamas. 6 offensive rebounds is 1 more than Puerto Rico, but of course they've missed so many more shots, so had more opportunities to grab them. Altogether 18 to 20 in total rebounds, slightly in favor of Puerto Rico. If you can catch that QR code quick enough and quick on the draw with your smartphone, you can get the Courtside 1891 app, stream schedules and scores for all of these qualifiers across the continents ahead of next year's showpiece events. These 2 nations desperate to get to the 2025 AmeriCup. Puerto Rico have never failed to qualify, but started this campaign with a defeat to Bahamas, who have only ever qualified once. All the way back in 1995, they failed to qualify for the last 12 editions. They come into this window as the 57th ranked nation in the world. Puerto Rico, 3-time champions of the Americas, ranked 16th in the world. It tells you how much an underdog Bahamas are, and how impressive a result it was for Bahamas to win the opening game in Puerto Rico by 11. Start of the second half, Puerto Rico lead by 16 and have the ball. Devon Reed, not at his very best in the first half, with his team still lead by 16. Here's Reed again, guided by the lefty Miller. Reed, the floater over the top of Miller, who is trying to stay with him. That's more like it from Devon Reed. It's 7 points first half on 3 of 7 shooting. 18 the lead for Puerto Rico. Miller passing back out. Corner shooter over everything. Kai Jones. That was only his second miss of the game. Both of them have come on the outside. Jones sees the ball come to him. As it inevitably will do time and time again on the offense. Not this time though, long range 2. Dominic Bridgewater is having a Nassau nightmare tonight. He's now 1 of 7 from the field for 3 points. Having had 20 points in the reverse meeting. Oh, look out! The flying freight train, Ismael Romero, down the track and to the rack. 20 the lead for Puerto Rico, ties the largest of the night. Bit of afters, bit of trash talking. A real rivalry developing between these two nations. Puerto Rico, who kept Bahamas away from the AmeriCup last time, with a win on the final game day of qualifying. Oh, Gordon at the line here. They can't even get a point from the stripe right now. And they needed a big improvement in the second half, Bahamas. Instead, they've got 0 points so far. And Puerto Rico have added 4 to their 16-point halftime lead. 0 for 2. Only 2 of 5 at the foul line now as a team. Reed. Oh, he's going to go to the goal again, is Romero. Starting the second half the way he started the first. In fact, that big dunk down the lane was the first score for Romero since the first quarter. Puerto Rico's top scorer with 10 at halftime, but all of them coming in the first. Now at the foul line. Just looking to get to 14. Already more than double his tally from the first game. "14 points in 16 minutes. 5 of 8 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. 22 now the out-and-out largest lead of the game. Bahamas did go on one big run in the first half, closing a 20-point gap down to 12. Here he goes again, Romero putting on a dunkathon. Ismael Romero up to 16 points. Puerto Rico have pulled away, and he looks to pull the rack down time and time again. And you don't need to check that top scorers graphic for Bahamas. It's exactly the same as it was at halftime because they've got no points here in this second half so far. And Romero has 6 all by himself. A pair of free throws, a pair of big dunks. He's up to 16 in the game. And his team's lead is up to 24, the largest so far. Nelson Collins still won't be taking anything for granted on the Puerto Rican bench. They need Dominic Bridgewater to get going, Bahamas. He can light it up from long range, hasn't done so in this game yet. Jones, he'll try and get it back. Kai Jones, turnover Bahamas, that was off the timeout. And they can't sort it out. Tiana Fernandez, Romero. Fernandez, nice passing, interior passing, a bit too overdone by Puerto Rico. Bridgewater moving it on quickly in a mid-air mugging and a hard fall. Romero takes the foul, but him and his teammate both go for it. And his opponent ends up down in a heap. Rashawn Davis back to his feet. 3 minutes of this second half without a single score for Bahamas. Both players are going for the ball. Romero and Reed, I don't think that's in doubt. David Nesbitt back in. This is a head scratcher for Bahamas. Missed a pair of free throws as part of the near 3-minute drought in this half, but finally get their first point of the third quarter, courtesy of Rashard Davis. And that's a start. 22 the deficit, 17 minutes to play. It's not mission impossible, it is mission improbable. Plummer up high! Romero still stretching and scoring. Hanging as long as he possibly could to put it in. And the take to the rack and one. And a chance at a three-point play in retaliation for Aaron Gordon. So Romero up to 18 points now. But Gordon coming right back at Puerto Rico. And a tough first half, 2 of 7 from the field. After a couple of misses from the line, 3 straight makes. 21-point deficit after it had been 24. Passing out to the press. Nice footwork as well, and the find in the corner. Off the mark though, and let off the Bahamas. Really well created for the sharpshooter Plummer, but if he doesn't get you, one of his teammates will. First miss of the game for Alfonso Plummer, who is 3 of 3 on the outside. Offensive rebound and a 3 from the opposite wing. The Bahamas rather sum up the story on the perimeter with a torrid attempt from downtown of their own. Romero doesn't grab it. So Bahamas now 2 of 15 from downtown. Puerto Rico 8 of 19. 24 ties the largest lead. Bridgewater, can he get going? He'll go to the line for two. Dominic Bridgewater, only 3 points in the game. 1 of 7 shooting from the field, 1 of 2 from the line. He's only got 1 assist as well, having had 20 points, 6 assists in the first meeting. His team only have 3 assists. His assist coming just a minute or so ago. Before that, there was only 1 Bahamas player with assists in this game. Aaron Gordon with 2 in the first half. A pair of free throws for Bridgewater. His first assist of the game as well. Maybe something starting to simmer. 22 the deficit. Quick first step to the baseline, pass back out. Reed, long range 2. Toro can't get the rebound. No, the Bahamas players can get the ball. Reed, far side. They're doing their best to chase Puerto Rico around the court, make it tough, but that's a perfect pass to create the close proximity shot for Wilfredo Rodriguez. His first score. He can thank his teammate for it. Superb assist. Nice basket for Bahamas on the fade, long ranger. Second score for Tavario Miller. 22 the margin. They need defensive stops though. They've tried their best, but to no avail over the last few minutes. Shot clock winding down though. 3-point shot doesn't go, but the border backbreaker. You work hard to force a miss and then give your opponent a fresh 14. Have to do it all over again, as they do. Bridgewater comes up with it, going forward at pace, and he's fouled. No question of the unsportsmanlike, just a sporting challenge from a bigger player. Puerto Rico are at the foul limit. Bridgewater had just hit a pair, misses that one. In the circumstances of this game, as it stands right now, they need each and every point they can get. It would have to be an almighty comeback from 24 down. A few times they've succeeded to get it as close as it is now at 21, but that's it. Haven't at any point since it went to 20 and above been able to get it back down into the teens. Plummer passes out, off-ball movement excellent, and fouled on his way up was Wilfredo Rodriguez. That's what Puerto Rico have had all the way through. A bit more movement, team play on the offensive end. The recent basket, and now the foul shots. Wilfredo Rodriguez, a different dimension for Puerto Rico the last few minutes. His first points of the game. And he split the pair. Bridgewater determined to get go. It's a foul. I think it's on Plummer. 9 points, 3 threes, all in the second quarter, I believe. He's got 5 assists as well with just 1 turnover. There's no personal foul trouble for Puerto Rico. Nobody on more than 2. David Nesbitt at the line. Nobody on more than 2 fouls for Bahamas either. Kane, just 1 of 2, and again the margin is 21. This needs to be a big 3.5 minutes if Bahamas are going to have a chance in the 4th. That could be a technical. That's what these fans are asking for. Turnover. Bahamas a chance to get it into the teens. 3-point shot, and it's good. Rashard Davis from deep. Come back on, perhaps. 18 the deficit, 13 minutes to play. They need to continue to get defensive stops. They did hold Puerto Rico scoreless for around 5 minutes or so here in the first half. Baseline, steps on it, turnover. He's saying he was pushed. Alfonso Plummer. They disagree. There's the Plummer assist for Romero's score. Top facilitator to top scorer for Puerto Rico. And they get a little bit closer. Oh, excellent defensive diligence to pick off the pass in the nick of time. It looked like it was going to be a free path through the paint. A superb steal. Mid-ranger good as well for Jorge Pacheco. That's a significant swing. Puerto Rico back up by 20 when it looked like Bahamas might get within 16. 3-point shot. They might have to light it up from long range. Offensive rebound back out. Bridgewater needs one. Still doesn't get one. Romero wrestles down the rebound. And Bridgewater is now 0-5 on the outside. Offensive ball Puerto Rico as well. Looks like they've killed the comeback before it's even really begun. Davon Reed, shot clock winding down. Final 2. Reed looking his opponent dead in the eye. Isn't aware of the shot clock because he was looking his opponent dead in the eye. Somebody should have given him a call. Looked like he was ready to go in isolation to take the shot. He wasn't aware. The clock was so low. Bridgewater 5 of 9 from downtown. The first game, 0 of 5 this game. Nesbitt working it around. Arriving late, Toro. And the 3rd foul for Bahamas in this quarter. It's hard to see where the comeback is coming from. It's been a thoroughly professional Puerto Rico performance, showing why it was such a big underdog win for Bahamas in San Juan in the first game. Puerto Rico have been a much better team here, showing it with this ball movement. But again, shot clock winding down. What a spin and score. A matter of milliseconds, a matter of quality. Matias 6 points. The lead at 22. Kyle Jones, we're not seeing much of him in this 3rd quarter. Battle for the ball, doing his best. Miller grabs it, third attempt, then lost it. And that rather sums up the night for Bahamas. And the Cuba victory over USA really gives Bahamas a problem now. They came into this second game day with so much positivity. Level with the US at 1-0 at the top of the group. Cuba expected to be the worst team in this group. Bahamas expected to have a chance of being one of the top 3 teams. Really, USA and Puerto Rico expected to go to the AmeriCup, and then Bahamas or Cuba for the final ticket. Perimeter shot wide open, misses. Rebound, a big leap, but doesn't come down with the ball. Kenton Smith. And here's Toro, the take to the rack. And 24 again, ties the largest lead of the game. So for all of Bahamas' best efforts, they've not been able to do anything to really affect the superiority of Puerto Rico. 16 the deficit at half-time, it stretched to 24. Bahamas battled to try and close it, but it remains at 24 heading into the fourth. .67% from 2, 36% from 3. And those percentages for Bahamas around about where they were at half-time. They're still going to enjoy their night in Nassau. Not often they've got to witness their team play here, because the last AmeriCup qualifying campaign was disrupted by COVID. They only had one home game. Ismael Romero, he's turning it into his town tonight, though. Scored 3 times as many points as that home loss on game day 1. He's got 18, 7 of 10 from the field, most of them dunks, 4 of 4 from the line, 5 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds, a steal and a block. Puerto Rico's main man, but they played well as a team. .13 assists now for Puerto Rico, only 4 for Bahamas in the game. And 3-point shooting remains a problem as well. They only had 2 at half-time. They only went down 1 in that third quarter. Now he's not happy. 3 of 18 from 3-point range, the home team, just 17%. The away team, 8 of 22 for 36%. Much better on the interior now. In fact, their 2-point percentage climbed a lot in that third quarter. They've also now grabbed more offensive rebounds, Puerto Rico, in the game, if the Bahamas had the lead in that category at half-time. Puerto Rico comfortable winners of each of the 3 quarters. They're in the first 16-26, the second 12-18, and the third 14-22. Chances of Bahamas winning this fourth quarter by 24 points. They at least start with the ball. Kai Jones back out. Good. Jones. They started with some ball movement. Don't generate a good shot at the end of it, but Kai Jones, certified tough shot maker. That's even better than the fadeaway long 2 in the first half. Kai Jones keeping his balance, tremendous body control to turn, absorb the contact, fade and finish on a long fall away. He's got some talent, the 23-year-old. Looking to hit 14 points This is his first free throw. 6 rebounds, a steal and a block. 14 points on 6 of 8 field goal shooting, and that 1 of 1 from the line. Cuba beating the USA though earlier on today. And that means, as it stands, with Puerto Rico winning here, all 4 teams will be level at 1-1. Jones challenging the shot to no avail. Matias now has 8 points. Back out. Gordon passes up the 3. Can't reproduce what Kai Jones did a few moments ago on the turn to the basket. Pie! Ismael Romero shining bright on this Nassau night. Jones trying to retaliate. Defensive diligence though to disrupt that alley-oop attempt. They've been better on that side of the floor by a distance as well. Romero. Still Puerto Rico possession. Outside shot right on the money. And they have been right on their game tonight, Puerto Rico. Ismael Cruz knocks it down. The lead keeps growing and growing. Now at 28. This is game over with 8 minutes to play. Mid-ranger. Rattle down for Tavario Miller. It's going to be a losing birthday for him. 30 today. Just goes to show how big an upset it was for Bahamas to win in San Juan in the first game, but Puerto Rico have bounced back in superb fashion. And these 2 sets of players will fight for each and every ball still. Underarm scoop, long rebound, plenty of time left on the shot clock. A bit panicky, but still possession. Bridgewater, now it's down to 1. He's fouled on the aggressive attempt. So, it might be game over, but it's still very significant from this point forward because it's a 26-point margin. Remember, Bahamas won by 11 in the first game. So points differential could come into play come at the end of the qualifying group. This game day 2 out of 6. So ideally, Bahamas need to close the gap as much as possible and preferably lose by less than 11. That is doable. Albeit still unlikely. So shot Puerto Rico misses this time. Bridgewater looking to quicken the pace. We're going to go coast to coast. Can't finish overhead. Offensive rebound. Soft touch finish falls instead for Tavario Miller. Still something to salvage on his birthday. Try and force the turnover in the backcourt, but Puerto Rico now can slow it down. Baseline cut, back out, ball movement, dizzying the defense, stop and pop on the elbow, but the whistle. And a turnover on Puerto Rico. Missed the official's signal there. May have been an offensive 3-second violation. Six and a half to play, just under. 22, the Puerto Rico lead. Bridgewater determined to finish on a high on what has been a really tough night for him. A blindside block, quick pass down the floor, and the score for Ismael Cruz. Defense providing the platform from which to launch the Cruz missile of an offense. Puerto Rico by 24. Bahamas timeout, 6 minutes to play. The next window, Moses Johnson's Bahamas will play both games on the road in Cuba and the US, and they will host those two opponents in the final window this time next year. There's that block from Toro, quick pass, Cruz down the floor for the score. Puerto Rico in control of the game and any potential tiebreaker as well. Window for Puerto Rico sees them on the road at the USA and then Cuba as well. Long range 2 goes down, and they host those two teams in the final window next February as well. So a similar situation for the two nations here. Same opponents to play, home and away. Similar order of playing them. 3-point shot for Cruz. Toro has been a beast on the boards. Flip far side. So many options around the perimeter for Puerto Rico. Their spacing much better than Bahamas. Their off-ball movement much better. Toro's rebounding better than anyone's. He's now got 15 rebounds. Outside shot for Miller. Didn't take too many shots in the first half to Vario Miller. And he's up to 11 points, second top scorer for Bahamas. Again, so much movement. How about the block from Kai Jones, though? Shot clock still ticking. 3 won't go. Kai Jones owning the airspace. Here's Miller again. We'll try and get it back to the teens now, Bahamas. 4.5 to play. Flipped inside, a bit of ball movement from Bahamas. It's not happened too often tonight. Trip to the line, third foul on Toro. Chance for the boys to make it a 19-point deficit. And they could do with losing by less than 11. That'll be the aim now. Boyles makes them both. Bahamas' only ever AmeriCup appearance. In Mexico back in 1995, they finished 8th out of the 10 teams with a 1-6 record. Dropped off to Romero, he's got a 20-point night. Addition in 1995 was the last time Puerto Rico won the AmeriCup, their third championship. Three and a half to play, 21 their lead and with the ball. Batted away, but only to centre court where it's recovered. Romero, open shooter here is Reed. Rebound Jones. Plenty of positivity, but without taking the ball with him. Godfrey roll. Up off a trampoline for the swipe. Kai Jones taking the ball and his opponent. Unparalleled athleticism from Kai Jones. Like a good 10-foot claw away from Jones. He's had a couple of big blocks already. And this time Toro sent to the line. Three minutes to play, 22. Lead for Puerto Rico. Plus 11 lead in terms of the head-to-head differential. The swivel, the push shot, the score, good for Keno Burrows. Takes it back down to 20. Speaking of tiebreakers, every single team in this group is going to be tied at 1-1 come the end of this one. Bridgewater, quick three, got it. It's down to 17. Dominic Bridgewater finally from downtown, getting congratulations from his teammates and these fans after he missed his first 6 3-point attempts. Nails his 7th. Too little too late for the win, but they could yet save something. Bahamas actually winning this quarter. After Puerto Rico comfortably won each of the first 3. Kai Jones' defense a part of it. Keno Burrows, the 38-year-old, with some positive contributions, and finally the triple that Dominic Bridgewater has waited all night for. Defense Defenders slipping and sliding and then chasing shadows. Romero keeping his cool to find Plummer for the simple finish. Final 2 minutes, Puerto Rico by 19. Bridgewater fouled on the 3 now. It only took 1 for him to knock down for the defense to be so concerned about another. So Bridgewater will go to the line for 3 foul shots. Long stride, step back, creating room. Toro trying to bridge the gap, commits the foul. That's his 4th. Number of points will be the first tiebreaker. Total number of points. If teams are level at the end of the campaign, followed by head-to-head points. Toro lost it, turnover, and he goes down hurt as well. What a night he's had on the window. 16 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds. He's also got 2 blocks and a steal. He's been a real anchor for Puerto Rico. 8 points as well. Played 33.5 minutes, having not played at all the first game. He's got the best plus-minus of all players. He's been a real difference maker in terms of changing the dynamic from the first game. Bahamas determined to cut into this deficit. Shot clock winding down. He's got to get in the way. He's not aware. Bridgewater, the swivel, the pull of the trigger. It was away in time. Romero, bit of composure in the paint to take it past Kai Jones. 22 tonight for Ismael Romero. Jones. Newsom back to Jones. Bit of interior passing and a foul on his route to the rim. And Toro will foul out with 26 seconds to play. Not sure he's away yet. So Toro out, having played 35 of the 40 minutes, 8 points, 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from the line, but his biggest contributions coming elsewhere. 17 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds, 2 blocks and a steal. Plus minus a plus 19, the highest of all players in the game. His efficiency rating of 21, the 3rd highest of all players, behind Ismael Romero, his teammate, and Kai Jones, his opponent. To the benches, 26.4 to play. Puerto Rico by 17. Puerto Rico paid the price for poor 2-point shooting percentage in the first meeting between these two. They're absolutely putting that right in Nassau tonight. They've shot 68% from 2-point range. After shooting in the first meeting, only 39% on the interior. Figure compounded by the points in the paint, which is 44-28 in their favour. Bridgewater now the second top scorer for Bahamas, having been non-existent most of the evening. They finally got it going in this fourth period, but it's the damage of the first three. And you see in the overall score tally, 25 points for Bahamas in this period. They failed to score any more than 16 in any of the first three periods. .22, the lowest tally for Puerto Rico over the first three periods. They've been held to 18 here in the fourth. Small differential. Another point. Another couple of points for Fernandez. Another player into double figures. And that will go on the Bridgewater drift and drain to beat the buzzer. Dominic Bridgewater, who couldn't buy a bucket earlier on. And they're going to check it to see if it is away on time. Missed his first 6 3-point attempts, Bridgewater. Then he hit one, then he got fouled on the next one. They know each and every point could ultimately prove pivotal come the end of what is set to be a locked level group after the first window, with all teams at 1-1. See, no good. Tough to take for Bahamas out the buzzer. Hoping to reward the fans that had stuck around for the entirety of the game with a big moment to cheer, but it's not to be. And they lose this one at home, 67-86 to Puerto Rico. Both teams move to 1-1 level with Cuba and the USA. Cuba beating the US earlier on. Kai Jones led the way for the home team, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks and a steal. But Puerto Rico had so many impressive contributors, led by the 22 points of Ismael Romero, who also had 5 rebounds and a block. Some of the numbers: superior 2-point percentage, 68% Puerto Rico after 39% in the first game for them. Also better on the perimeter, where Bahamas struggled all evening. 7 more rebounds, more than double the assists. Bahamas only had 2 assists in the whole of the first half. 14 steals for Puerto Rico as well, showing their defensive diligence. 22 for Romero, 11 for Plummer, 10 for Fernandez, the 3 in double figures. They also had 9 for Reed, 8 for Cruz, 8 for Toro, 8 for Matias. So lots of players close to double digits. A real team effort on offense and defense from Puerto Rico tonight. Kai Jones put on an offensive clinic at times, some big blocks on the defensive end as well. Certainly did his bit. Puerto Rico more a team summed up by some of these high-flying assists. So often out fast in transition as well, off the back of 18 Bahamas turnovers. They pulled away towards the end of the first quarter, led by 10 at the end of the first, never really looked back. A similar story to the game between these two back in San Juan, Puerto Rico, just a flip of the script. In that first game, it was Bahamas who pulled away in the first period and never looked back. Tonight it was Puerto Rico playing a game of catch us if you can. The lead grew and grew. Got as high as 28 at its peak. It settled at 19. Jones want to bring that trampoline with him to the next window. And for Bahamas on game day one has given them a chance of making just their second ever AmeriCup. They really wanted to cement that possibility with a win in their first home game, but Puerto Rico with a huge get back in business victory for them. Revenge for the upset in San Juan. And tonight in Nassau, the Boricuas have raised the bar and hit back. And you see the group after the 81-67 home win for Cuba over the USA earlier on today. All teams at the end of the first window level at 1-1 before the second of three windows comes your way in November. From me, Tim Long, it's been a pleasure having your company for this one here. We'll see you next time at the 2025 AmeriCup Qualifiers.